Hey YouTube, so I'm going to do a real quick tutorial here on how to use a flash meter. Try to keep it a couple minutes or less. I'm basically going to go through how to get accurate readings on the flash meter, and then how to change camera settings to go with those. And then I'm going to switch up my lighting a little bit, and then kind of show you as I problem solve so you guys know how to do it in the real world. So let's jump into this. So first off, I have a beauty dish here for my main light on channel 1. I have a kicker light in the back here on channel 2 and another one on channel 3. So you can see there, that one's firing on channel 3, that one's channel 2, and this one is channel 1. So what you're going to do with the flash meter is you're going to look for the brightest spot that you can find on a person's face or on your subject's face, whether it be a car or whatever. And you're going to put the flash meter there, point the dish towards your light, and then on this flash meter in particular, you hit the right button, and that's what meters. And so it's giving me a reading of f8 and 4/10. So f8 and 4/10 is going to be approximately is going to be approximately f9. It's getting closer to f10, or it's in between f9 and 10. So I'm going to go and adjust my camera to f9. And then I want my two flashes behind me here to be about a stop above. So I'm going to meter those real fast. I need to make sure they're pointed at me, because something else I've discovered with flash meters that's really useful is that even though you might think you have flashes in the same spot, same distance, and approximately pointing at the same thing with the same modifiers and everything, they might not really turn out with the same amount of light. If it's like 10 degrees off, you can get a totally different amount of light than if it's pointed directly at it. So that's why flash meters are really essential when you're working in a, maybe a fast-paced environment where you don't have time to look at your camera really closely and see that, oh, that one's slightly underexposed. So what we're going to do here is double check and make sure that both the power of this one and this one are the exact same. And that might not necessarily mean that the capacitor output is exactly the same, but it means that the same amount of light is reaching the same place on the subject's face. So here I'm gonna meter my right one, put it on my ear, which is probably the most brightly exposed part of this. So let's hit that, and I'm getting f11 and 6/10. So if I have this at f8 and 4/10, then I'm going to want to bring this one down to f11 and 4/10 if I want exactly one stop above. So now I'm going to meter on channel 3, which is my left one, put it right here on my ear where it's probably going to be the most exposed, and I'm getting f8 and 6/10, so I'm going to jump that up to f11 and what was it? f11 and 4/10. Okay, so as you can see, the flashes are not in the exact same spot, because this one is, if they're in the exact same spot and they're pointed exactly at me, and they have the exact same capacitor output, they should be giving me the same amount of light, but they're not. This one, even though this one has 3.1 watt seconds output, it's giving me f11 and 4/10, and this one has 4.4 watt seconds output, it's giving me f11 and 4/10. So we need to adjust the lights a little bit. I'm just going to double check. So see here, I'm right in the middle of the camera. I'm going to double check this pointed right at me. Let's see, I'm going to reach out my arm. It's like a little bit, about 6 inches past the midway of my arm. See, now this is why this one has a higher output. I just realized it has another like 4 inches out further from me. So whether you do this, you could do this with a measuring, a ruler or whatever you want to do it with. But if you have a flash meter, you can do this without having to measure or without anything like that. This is the ruler, because it measures light, and light has always the same fall off. It's the inverse of the square of the intensity. So now we'll do this metering again, and they should be much closer, because now I've basically used my ruler and double checked the distance. So let's hit channel 2, my right one here, put it on my ear facing forward, and I'm getting f11 and 5/10, which is about what it was at before. So I'm going to drop it down, f11 and 4/10. Let's do this one now. f11 and 4/10. That's odd. It should be a little different. I think it's not quite pointed at me. I don't know. We'll see. Do this one more time. F11 and 6/10. Okay, well, let's at least drop it down. It looks like our output is pretty close. It's only about a watt-second difference. This one's, my right one's putting out 2.9 watt-seconds. My left one's putting out 3.8, and they're both giving me F11. So let's give that a try and see how this works. So always double check your camera settings. Got F9, that's perfect. And then let's take the exposure. So here we go. Cyber Commander. Now we will find out what it looks like. So far, so good. So what I check for here with my exposure and what the flash meter is checking for me, which is especially important if I'm not tethering, what I'm checking for is to make sure I don't have any blown out spots. So if you look here, the only really bright spots on the front or from the main light is here in my eyes, and I like that. That looks good, I think. Little catch light. And then what I'm also looking for is looking on my side lights here and double checking. I'm going to drop it down a stop. Here we go. Drop it down a stop, and I'm not really losing any data. Let's drop it down 2 and double check. Yeah, there's detail in there all the way down to like 2.5 stops down. So that's why you get the flash meter out, is because if you overexpose that and make it totally blown out, you're not going to have any data to recover with. So flash meters are super, super, super helpful. And we can see here on both sides of my head, even though the flashes had slightly different outputs, it looks like the light is pretty much the same brightness. It looks like the right one is honestly slightly brighter. Which doesn't really make any sense because the right one actually, my channel 2, has slightly less output. So I guess this is just pointed slightly more at me. Yeah, that one, oh, now I see that looking from right here, this one's pointed a little bit back. So if I do that and probably aim it up a teensy bit more, I think that'll be even more accurate exposure. So let's do this one more time. Cyber Commander. Okay. Here comes the next photo. Let's see. So yeah, it looks very, very similar. So if you're dealing with tenths of a stop, you're much better off than accidentally having a flash point in the wrong direction. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change up the lighting setup, and I'm going to show you guys how I would solve the problem. So here he goes. I'm going to go and fast forward. Okay, so I set up the lights a little differently. I threw barn doors on here just to kind of control this light. This is going to be my main light for this photo. I'll just do like a slit of light on my face, which would be kind of cool because it'll be showing how even when this light's really close to me, I can if I close these up enough, it's going to almost let no light through, and so I'll have like this one at almost full power, but it's going to read at like something really low. F8 or something like that, even though it's going to be super high power. And then this one, I'm put a red filter on there, screwing around with that, and that one's going to be just there to fill in the details a little bit. It's going to probably be a stop below or something like that, maybe 2 stops below. And then I put this one back here, and I'll probably do that a stop below as well. And let's see how it looks. So let's start off. This. Let's see. Oh, I should start this camera here. Well, that camera's dead, so I'm just going to go with just one camera. So let's do this. So starting with the main flash, I'm going to meter that. Here we go. And it's metering at f2, even though it's super close to me. So let's bump that up a bunch. Meter that again. I want it at f8, so let's keep going, and let's get it. Well, let's do f9. I think that's what I set my camera at. There we go, f8. And then I'm going to meter this one back here. See what that one's looking like. F2. I want this one at f, let's say 5, 6 and a third, because that's one stop below what my main flash is at. And then I'll meter my beauty dish here. Oh, and I'm going to do this because I turned on this light just for kicks. That one's metering at f5, 6 and a sixth. So let's drop it down to f5, 6 and 4/10. And then what I'm going to do for this bottom one here is I'm going to kind of make little barn doors. I'm going to cut off the light or scrim it off here from the other ones, and meter for this one down here. And that one's, well, let's put it at my face level. That one's giving me f4, so I'm going to bump that up a little bit. Let's put this one at put it at f5, 6. Oh, there, now it's giving me that. And yeah, what I'm doing by covering this up is I'm keeping any other flash's light from hitting this, so the dome is only getting light from that bottom flash. There we go, f6, or f5, 6 and 7/10. Drop it down a little bit. f5, 6, right on it. Okay, so now if I take the photo, it should be exposed perfectly according to the settings of the flash meter. So let's give it a try. Something a little philosophical there. How about now? I'm recording the screen here, so I'll show you guys on the screen what it's looking like. Let's hit the same as previous. So this photo, let's double check our settings. This is the main thing. This should be about a stop under of what we want it to be. And this one is our brightest flash here in the front, and that looks about right. It's not overexposing anything. And then the one in the back should be about a stop under, which honestly to me, I don't know if it's just the blueness, but it looks about the same. According to the flash meter, it's a stop under. But let's say if we bump this up a little bit, let's say one stop. Well, I guess that looks about correct exposure if you bump it up a stop. So that's how to use the flash meter. If you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot comments. I'm happy to make more videos, show you guys how to use it more in depth, or show you different functions of that flash meter in particular. Or if you guys want me to just show you how I do shoots, kind of my workflow with business headshots, I can do that. Definitely, if you like the video, like my Facebook page. I post photos on there all the time, post videos sometimes. And check out my website, rothvisuals.com, or my wedding website, rothcouple.com. My wife and I take photos for weddings. And that's about it. So thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed it.